Hello, happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And I am going to get lunch for the office, and you're not going to believe it, but I am not going to Chick-fil-A. Not today. We're having Jimmy John's. I lied, it's not Jimmy John's, it's Jersey Mike's. Anyway, back to the story. So they have gluten-free bread. But first, I'm going to drop the mail off at the post office and then go get lunch for the office and then come back and eat. We're having a whole entire party today. I dressed up a little bit. I didn't wear a t-shirt. I think that should be commended, that I didn't actually wear a t-shirt. And I mean, I still have on jeans, but whatever. But I put on a decent shirt. Even though I nearly froze to death this morning because I basically don't have sleeves on because this is not warm. I can tell you that. It's not warm. I got the shirt at Zulily, if anybody asks. Zulily is an online thing where you can order shirts. And shirts? You can order anything you want off of Zulily. They have a ton of stuff. The only thing I don't like about Zulily is it takes so long to get your stuff. And it's not like it's coming from across the world. Not pond. That would be England. It's not like it's coming from the Far East. It just, so the way I look at it is Zulily is kind of one of those places that I guess you would call it maybe a third-party seller where they show you all these things, right? Oh, I almost hit the mailbox. They have all these things, and then you say, I want it. Well, then they have to contact the seller, whoever, and then that seller ships it to them, and then they turn around and ship it to you, which is a little bit annoying. So sometimes it can take 2 to 3 weeks to get what you order. But they have a lot of cute stuff like this shirt. So, yeah. Other than that, what else was I going to discuss? Oh, we had excitement in the hood last night. My boss lives 2 doors down from me. And she texted me and she said, did you hear that? Well, the past couple of nights, Saturday night and Sunday night, somebody was shooting off fireworks. And actually Saturday night, the first few that went off, I actually thought it was a pew-pew because I don't know why I did that, because you don't shoot with your thumb. But anyway, I thought it was a pew-pew because it was a single blast like a 12 gauge would make. It was a boom. Yeah, like that. Boom. Anyway. And then there was a second one. And then there was a third one. Like there was these gaps in between them. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And then the fireworks started. Like they started coming more at a rapid rate like you would expect from fireworks. And Joan texted me and asked me if that was a pew-pew, basically. I can't call it by its real name because people are sensitive. And by people, I mean Facebook. They don't like you to say things like that. And yeah, anyway, so that's why I keep calling it a pew-pew. So anyway, you just have to be careful, which is so ridiculous that we live in this free country but can't just talk freely about certain things or you get little warnings. Anyway, I told her I thought it was a pew-pew at first, but that at later, that it was fireworks. And then boss texted and I texted her and then she texted me back. Anyway, she saw the fireworks. So we knew by then it was definitely fireworks. The crappy part was they didn't start till 10 o'clock at night. And I live in a neighborhood with a bunch of older people. There are some younger people, but there's also a lot of older people. And these older people, Joan, she's in bed by 8 o'clock. So it woke her up from a dead sleep. And she had a hard time going back to sleep. So that happened again Sunday night. So last night when Tommy texted and said, did you hear that? I just thought it was more fireworks and said, no, And she said a bunch of sirens went by And that stirred up the coyotes. And she said, I think they're in my meadow. Now, the meadow is where I walk Charlie and Penny. That's that big vacant lot with the muscadines, and it's just a big open lot that she told me several years ago that I could walk my dogs there. Well, the coyotes were over there, and she said, I'm afraid they're going to go after the chicken and the ducks. Well, I believe, because the chicken and the ducks actually live across the street from me in their backyard, and they have a place to roost. They have a high place to go. And it's surprising that all these ducks and the chicken have lived there for so long with owls and hawks and coyotes. So they must have some sort of safety feature over there to try to guard against all this. Anyway, so when she mentioned the chicken, it's not my chicken, but when she mentioned the chicken, I took off running outside, because I was like, I will go in that backyard and I will fight a coyote for my chicken, okay? Even though it's not my chicken. But I didn't hear anything. And you can't tell me that you can squeeze in? You can't tell me that a coyote could attack a duck or a chicken, maybe a chicken, but not a duck, without some kind of noise, because these are big ducks. These are those Peking ducks and Muscovy ducks. So I'm pretty sure, because they're directly across the street from me, that I would have heard something had a coyote been in the yard with them. But anyway, plus the actual bird owners were outside during this. I was standing on my driveway in my pajamas looking for a coyote, like I don't know who, Elmer Fudd, he was looking for a rabbit. But anyway, so then I got super nosy, because she sent me a picture, and it's from her porch, and it's her little dog looking out over the meadow, and there's a coyote standing in the meadow. I'll put the picture in. So when I saw that, I got all kind of freaked out, even though her dog can't get off the porch. I mean, she was on the porch with the dog, and there is a locked door on that porch. There's no way that anything would have happened. But it's still seeing them in the same picture, because Coco's tiny. She's a little bitty Maltese dog. So anyway, then I went back in the house and out to my front porch so I could see if I could see down in her meadow, because I was really hoping more sirens would come by so I could catch them yipping and yowling for y'all a video. The things I do for y'all. But a siren went by, but it was too far in the distance and it didn't get them stirred up. But anyway, I just prayed for my little Dixie chick and the ducks, and I hope they're okay. She wasn't out this morning, but that's not unusual. She doesn't, sometimes she goes a whole day without coming out of that backyard. So anyway, but I was willing to run and fight off a coyote. When I lived in the townhouse, my food's not going to be ready for 4 minutes. That's why I'm sitting here. When I lived in the townhouse, I would walk Charlie in the mornings and in the evenings, and the coyotes would be out and about with us. And they never bothered us. They never came near us. But I did carry, if you know what I'm saying, I carried. And I was willing to do what needed to be done to protect my dog. I'm just saying. But they never tried to come after us. Now, they did go after another neighbor's dog because they were idiots. I'm just being truthful here. They had a tiny Chihuahua that was like this tall and a solid white boxer. And they would turn those dogs out without a leash, even though there's a leash law in Cobb County, just to run around in the early morning, in the late evening, when the coyotes are out. So the coyote grabbed the Chihuahua and took off running. The boxer was hot on its heels. The dogs human dad was an Atlanta, or is an Atlanta police officer, so he can run, is what I'm saying. So then he took off running, and thankfully the coyote dropped the Chihuahua. The boxer continued chasing. The dad stopped and scooped up the Chihuahua, called the boxer back. They all went back in the house. They had to carry the the Chihuahua to the vet because it needed stitches, just a few puncture holes. It wasn't serious. But the bad part is they continued to let the dogs out. I'm like, hello, McFly. Wiley's out here trying to eat your babies. You might need to keep them on a leash. I'm just saying. Because they would just roam all over the area. So anyway, sometimes I don't like people very much. I'm going to go in and get our food. But I'll chat with y'all later. Hi, I am off work. I am at home. I am walking the dogs, in case you can't tell. And I'll make this quick, or so I thought. I'll make this quick because I thought yesterday was windy. Yesterday ain't got nothing on today. It is ridiculously windy today. It's not right at this particular moment, but I was like, we gotta turn around and go back home. I can't walk in all this wind. But anyway, hair and mouth. You know, an electric car just went by me. You know what I don't like about electric cars? You can't hear them. I walk my dogs listening. Even though I'm making a video, I am listening and hearing when cars are approaching behind me. You can't hear them. You also can't hear bicycles, which they should really put baseball cards or just playing cards in their spokes, so that I can hear them coming, because they'll sneak up on you too. And my dogs don't like anybody or anything to sneak up on me. I'm just saying. But anyway, we had a good lunch. I brought the rest of it home for dinner. I'm gonna take it off that gluten-free roll and just put it on my regular bread though. Just gluten-free sub rolls are not that good unless you toast them. Yeah, they don't toast. Especially on a cold sub, they don't toast. So there's just a weird texture with gluten-free. But anyway, I was talking to my dad on the phone, and he was like, I can't hear a word you're saying because of the wind. And I was like, well, how about if I call you back then, because I'm putting in all this effort to talk to you over the wind. And if you can't hear me, that's not going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, we're home from work. We've walked the dogs. We've taken care of Joan's bandage situation. And Dixie Chick is fine. She was out giving herself a dust bath when I came by. So she is good to go. I'm telling you, they got some kind of great setup over there for the chicken to roost up high, apparently. And those ducks are always up high. They'll get up on top of a house and lay up there. So I guess they can all get away from the coyotes pretty well. I don't know. I just think especially ducks would be loud. I know geese are super loud, but I would think those ducks would be loud too if a coyote got back there. I don't know. Anyway, but I was going to go fight for her. I know, girl, right? Are you ready to eat? Are you just going to stand there and holler? Okay. Are you going to jump? You just going to be gripey? Okay, that's fine. We can have a full-on conversation. Anyway, when I went to see Joan to change today's bandage, I took her dog a treat. I buy my dogs these little fish treats, and they're 100% fish. No other ingredients, no spices, no oils, no nothing, just dried fish skins, basically. And she was like, are you sure? And I said, well, I mean, I don't know why she couldn't. And she was like, well, she's a puppy. And I was like, well, she's a pretty big puppy, though. I mean, she's already Penny's size. Well, anyway, y'all, she took that little fish treat, and we kept an eye on her. She took that little fish treat, and I told her, I said, don't ever buy her rawhides because they're really bad on their digestive system. I mean, especially with smaller dogs, it makes them sick, but they can also choke on them. And these are much better because basically when they start chewing on them, they can chew them and swallow them. They don't stay in big chunks, kind of like the rawhide does. But anyway, she went and laid down and chewed on that thing and chewed on that thing. And Joan said, when do I take it away from her? And I was like, well, I mean, when you go to bed. I wouldn't let her go to bed with it. And she was like, but when is she done? I said, when it's gone, she's going to eat it. She said, she eats the whole thing? I mean, it wasn't but that long. I said, yeah, she just eats it. I said, I just brought you a small one. I said, I mean, if you don't want to give it to her, no, it's okay. So she gave it to her and she ate the whole thing. But what was funny is I looked over there and she's laying on the floor with part of it hanging out of her mouth, just going to town chewing on it. And the cat, who normally stays far away from her, was on the coffee table overlooking, like, hey, what you got down there? What you eating on? What you eating on? Because that sure does smell good. I said, now they do stink, don't they, Gracie? And she was like, well, great. I was like, well, I mean, it smells like dried fish. So, you know, but they love them. And she's teething. And she needs something to chew on besides your shoes. So, anyway. I know, right? I said, Gracie doesn't bother them or try to take them away from the dogs or eat them or anything, but she likes to roll on them. I know, right? Do you like to roll on them? See, they're pretty good to roll on. See, I like to just rub it all over my body. It's not something you really want to smell like, Gracie. But anyway, okay. I think that's it for this one. It was not a very exciting video, but it's a video nonetheless, none the more. Oh yeah, I was going to tell y'all about YouTube, and then I'll let you go on this one because it was just kind of a nothing video. But would you stop it? You're scaring me. So I went to YouTube last night, and I had a comment from a follower, and she said, I really miss your videos. I haven't seen one in several weeks. And I was like, I have been posting to Facebook every day, and I kind of stopped posting to YouTube, except every now and then I would put one over there. But every time I went over there and looked, they had no views. And I was like, well, if nobody's going to watch them, I'm not going to worry about putting them over there, right? No views, no views. On like 20-something videos, the last 20 videos I posted to YouTube were marked as private, so nobody could see them. That's why they didn't have views. Now, how did that happen? Because I didn't change a thing. All my other ones are marked public. So anyway, now I'm getting views again. Dang, flabbit. So anyway, I'm going to start uploading to YouTube again now that I know people are over there looking for them to watch them. Who knew? I didn't know. Why would you upload a video and mark it private? Well, I have done that on TikTok, but that's only because I was playing with filters and I would send them to friends, you know, just send them goofy videos of me. I mean, not that I would ever do anything like that because I'm a very serious person at all times. All right, that's all for now. Say that's all for now. You give me a kiss? Oh, you're a sweet girl. Anyway, can you give me a kiss? Oh, I love you so much. Are you hungry? Do you love me? I guess I'll go feed my cat and my dogs. And I don't know what I'm going to eat for myself. But, oh, I'm going to eat the rest of my lunch from Jersey Mike's, not Jimmy John's. I got the Italian, the Italiano. And Tommy made potato salad. So I'm going to have some potato salad with it. Aren't we? Yeah, see, that's what we're going to have for lunch, is dinner for the rest of my lunch, whatever. Yeah, so anyway, y'all have a great rest of your day. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon because people be crazy. And I will talk to you later. Goodbye.